a guideline we follow that's non-subjective but very objective, because it needs to be done. Because my last video I did, I was really biased, and I don't want to do that. Even though I've been tagging for 10 years, even I have to stay within a boundary of non-bias. So here are the rules. Rule 1 is going to be no bias towards the tank, despite how frustrated we get against them in PvP. Second, we're not going to put them in a bad placement because we simply don't like them or like the kit. Third, even if I don't play the tank, I'm not going to put them at the bottom. And the last one is we're going to base these on main tank and off tank. And then for the fifth, kind of like a last rule, least to last, is going to be, do you feel safe with this tank as solo? That's going to be the main question every single time. So with that being said, we have our guideline. Let's follow it. Let's dive into it. Okay, I'm going to get this one out the way because it needs to be done. I'm going to put Thor in S. He's the Hashirama of MarvelRivals. There's no way to go wrong with him. I use Thor to go from bronze to almost diamond with solo tanking, off tanking, main tanking. He's the most diverse tank in the game. We have to accept this. I know you're gonna say, oh, but Vic, Lintbeard, you main Thor, of course you put him in S tier. That's very subjective, and I agree, and I stand by that. It's my list. I main Thor. He's S tier. Thor is so diverse in everything he does that you can't go wrong with him. There's no way. Thor has mobility. He has tank ability. He's got survivability. This guy has a transformation. He's got Stormcaller. If you play Stormcaller correctly, you could be in that mode without end. I spend most of my matches on stream. Those of you who follow me on Twitch, you guys know whenever I stream and I play MarvelRivals, when I play Thor, I'm always in Stormcaller mode. There's very rare moments where I'm just not in that mode. So he gets S tier based on the fact that he's such an underrated, unappreciated tank, but he can do so much. If you play him like the way I play him, you guys can go from bronze to near diamond within a week. So Venom's interesting because it depends. Every tank is good depending who's playing them. Every tank is good depending on who's playing them, right? Let's make that very clear. A very bad Venom is not the same as a very good Venom. So let's make that very, very open, transparent, and at disclosure. But for the average player, basing Venom has a positive of he's mobile and he's tanky. The downside of Venom is his ult sucks, and once Venom doesn't have his cooldowns, you can kill him. He's a couple of headshots from dying. He has no shield. Once that meat shield wears off, he's a liability. So he really depends on how good your positioning is and how well you can time your cooldowns. Because of that, I think Venom, in all honesty, despite the fact that I play Venom. He's my second main. I'm almost a Lord Venom. I'm gonna place him in B. I think that's a very fair, accurate, from a tank's point of view. I've been tanking for a very long time, 10 years as I always mention. This is very fair. He's not a tank where people feel safe having him as a solo tank. That's the main question is, do you feel safe? If you ask a healer or a DPS, do you feel safe with Venom as your solo tank? A majority of them will tell you no, that they want someone else for main tanking. But because he's so mobile and he's good at making, or at least he's very good at moving the healers out of position and getting into the backline quicker than anybody else and getting out, and his mobility, he gets to be an A tier. Because if you're really good at managing how mobile you are, you could jump around the map and really cause some mayhem. What we're gonna do is the Thing. The Thing is very cool concept wise. He's a very good, he's a boxer. He's like having Hulk in the form of a boxer, like it's pretty good. He's an all-around okay tank if he has Mrs. Invisible with him, but that right there is a disadvantage. That's the key thing. You would have to convince, if you solo queue as a tank main and you use the Thing, you are already at a disadvantage. You have to convince somebody on your team to play Mrs. Invisible. He's not useful without her. He needs the shield. He needs the hero lineup. He needs the collaboration from Mrs. Invisible to be somewhat more mobile and more tanky. When a tank requires a healer to be in the match with him, he's not good for off tanking and he's not good for solo tanking. So the Thing, as cool as he is, as much as I like him, and I like him, I love a good boxing match. I watch the UFC, I watch boxing stuff. I know how cool he is. But deep down, we all know, my fellow tanks, look at me, you guys, hey, you guys know he's not the best tank in the game. He's a D tier, sadly. Say it, but he's a D tier tank because of that reason. That very reason is why he's a D tier. Because he requires you to collaborate with another player. You have to duo queue or convince someone to play Mrs. Invisible, and you have to convince them to keep their shield on you at all times, which is an issue. So if you can't use him in a situation by solo queue, and he's not viable in solo queue both as an off tank or a main tank, and his kit has no survivability. He has no actual shield without Mrs. Invisible. His health is not enough, and he's slow. He has that charge, yeah, and that jump, but Hulk has that too, but Hulk has a shield around him. These are two very different bulky tanks, and the Thing looks nice, but he's not functional. Not in the long term. Penny's up next. Anyone who watches my stream, you guys know I hate Penny. I just don't like her. And I like the heroes. It's a good kit. I just don't like fighting against Penny. But I like having Penny on my team. So I'm going to be very, very objective. Penny, despite how much I don't like her and I don't like playing against her, she frustrates me because I can't. She's a good Penny is very hard to kill. And her kit to me seems unfair because I'm a mobile melee tank, which means I have to be on her to kill her. I don't have range like some of the other tanks. Well, I have Stormcaller, but it's not the same. We're going to give Penny an A. Penny's an A tier. She's an A tier tank. There's no debating it. A good Penny can make or break a game. If Penny can keep you off the point, you've lost the match. You can get all the kills you want in the world, but if you can't capture the point, it's useless. So with that being said, we're going to put Penny in A because Penny is truly an A tier tank. You can use her in solo queue, solo tanking, off tanking, and main tanking. She's unbelievably amazing at keeping the point. Kills you want in the world, it doesn't matter. If you can't capture the point and kill her nest, you've lost the match. You can go 101, it doesn't matter. You need the objective, and Penny can take and hold the objective like it's nobody's business. So with that being said, Penny goes A, despite how I personally feel about her. And it's Magneto. So I'm going to be very honest with you on this one. I don't have a script, I'm just off my top of my head. I strongly believe, deep down, Magneto can take you from bronze to celestial. That's how much of an amazing tank he is. Despite how much I love Thor, and I love Thor, believe me, anyone who watches my Twitch, I love Thor. He is an S tier tank. Magneto cannot be stopped. Magneto is almost immortal. If you're a good Magneto, you don't need a second tank. You don't need an off tank. You don't even need a healer. Like Magneto's, if you can time his shield, his absorb, and all of that stuff, he can render the entire roster useless. Magneto's ult renders the ult from Punisher useless. Imagine that for a second. Think about what I just said to you. Magneto can make Punisher's ult useless, and he's got the craziest chain guns in the game. Punisher can melt a Groot in 3 seconds, but Magneto can rob him of that, and that's an unbelievable amount of tanking he has. Magneto, I would play Magneto, but I'm just not a Magneto fan. Like I'm just a Thor fan. Magneto doesn't fit my playstyle or my personality, so for me personally, I wouldn't use him, and I won't bother with it. But I know if you play Magneto, he'll take you from bronze to celestial very easy. You have a good team around you, get some good cues, you'll climb the ranks like this. Easy. So now we come to my boy, I am Groot. I am Groot is... First, let's place him, and I'll tell you why. Here's where I'm going to place him. I'm going to put Groot at B with Venom. Why? Because they're both meat suits. You can farm ult off of them. They're good at blocking things off, but he's not good at keeping things. The thing is, if, like, even me, whenever I play Thor, if I get around his barriers, I can just whack him. I can just use the hammer strike on him till he dies. Groot doesn't have enough damage to stop me, but he's really good at locking people in. So if you have somebody who's, let's say you have a Scarlet Witch who's ulting on the point and everyone's trying to scatter and run, Groot can lock them in and she'll get a big ultimate kill. And that's great if it's well timed. But like I said, that's a chance thing. That's two random players chancing that they're in the right location at the right time and they both have the exact same idea. He's like, okay, I'm going to ult, and Groot goes, I'm going to lock them in. But that requires a high level of collaboration, which is very hard to find when you're solo queuing. This list is being made off of solo queue. It's not being made off of you're in a team or in a group already. It's if you solo queue, how viable are these tanks in their tier? And Groot is easily B tier. He's hard to kill, theoretically, if you're a DPS and you have to follow him around, but if you're another tank, he's an easy kill if you're another tank. But at the same time, he can lock you in and he can break you off from your healer. Sure, it might frustrate you to some extent, but it's not enough to where he can turn the game around by himself. I'm gonna leave Emma Frost for last because I know I've seen this stuff on Twitter and Instagram. I know where it's at. Let's just get through the next three, and we'll get to Emma Frost at the end. So next is Doctor Strange. He's easily A. He can flank in the back. He's got portals. He's got a great shield. Functionality, solo queue. He can go off tank or main tank. You don't need someone else with him. Doctor Strange is by himself a really great tank in E tier. His ult might not be the best, but if you time his ult with a Punisher or with a Hawkeye or even with an Iron Man, you freeze him in place, drop the bomb. It's good. And that can happen very often, give or take. So this is not really something that's very shocking to me. Even if you're a bad player, even if you're like a newbie tank, you're still learning the game, use Doctor Strange. He's a great way to go about it. Use him. His shield is easy to manage. The cooldown's easy to manage. And if your team needs you to flank, just open up a portal and leave it at the entrance. You're fine. Easy. Move on. Captain America is also A tier. Survivability is top level. He's hard to kill. That shield that he has, his mobility, he's one of the few tanks in the game you cannot solo ult. You can't solo ult him and you cannot solo fight him. You would have to be a very skilled Thor. Okay, I'm just okay, fine. I will stop with the glorifying of Thor's golden acorns. in general, he's a great tank to have. Captain America has survivability. He's really up there. He's really good. You're not gonna go wrong. He gets things done. He can get to the back line. He can harass. That shield up, you're good. He can block Punisher. He can block Groot. He can block snipers. He's really good at that. So I would say Captain America is a very, very good sell for A. He's hard to kill, but the thing is, he's not good at holding points. He's good at harassing the enemy on the point, and he's good at making sure you can't kill him. But his damage output towards the other guys, the enemy, is really low. So he's basically, you can live long and distract, but you can't do anything to kill. But the role of a tank is not to kill. Our role is to create space and harass the enemy team to breaking up the formation. And Captain America can break up a formation. He can make you look around and move out of place, and the second you move, you may get sniped. So he deserves A tier. No questions asked. I'm going to put Hulk in C. I know that's controversial. I know people don't like that, but it's for a good reason. Hulk has the fatal flaw with Hulk that puts him beneath Groot and Venom is that Hulk only has one shield on him. That's it. He has the shield that he has, the barrier, and the barrier he shares. Magneto has this, but Magneto has this with an actual shield that he can bring out. Hulk is really great. He's basically Roadhog from Overwatch. Anyone who plays Overwatch knows this is Roadhog. He's amazing at building the enemy team's ult. That's his fatal flaw. Once his 2 shields are on cooldown, he's basically an ult farm. And you don't want a tank like that. You don't want a tank that feeds the enemy team an ult all the time. Sure, you can keep him alive, but what's the point? He's giving the enemy team God knows how many ults to take the point and do 2, 3, 4, 5-man kills. It doesn't render the tanking role relevant. Hulk is nice to have. He's really good if you play around him. But with that being said, he's a C tier. If you solo queue with him and you have an enemy team and he's not getting heals or he's badly out of place, he's basically giving the enemy team a free ult. That's all he's doing. It's a free ult. I'm sorry, C tier. That's an honest. I like him. I like the Hulk in the movies. I like them. I think he's very nice. I think he's a great hero. I think his kit is cool, but functionality wise in competitive, he's C tier. Unless you're a really, really exceptional Hulk who knows how to time his positioning. If you can time the positioning, I'll give you B if you can time the positioning. But if you can't do that, C tier. We come down to Emma Frost. The controversial. I've seen the content for Emma Frost. I know. And I know this, if this ever gets seen by a lot of people, I'm probably going to get fried for this. But this has to come from a point of view of a really, really good tank. Like, and I'm somewhat of a. That being said, Emma Frost, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. D tier. I'm going to give you guys a moment. Let me just. Are you good? We're all right? Look at me. Hey, look at me. You're going to get through this. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Now listen to me. I need you to be strong and listen to me, okay? She's easy to kill. That's the truth. Emma Frost is an off tank. She is not a main tank. She's easy to kill. You can walk past her shield, her glass shield. You can whack her to death. I've had many tanks, including Hulk, fight her and kill her 1v1. I've seen a Hawkeye kill her 1v1. Frost by herself is not viable. She looks great. Not gonna deny that. She looks amazing. Great costumes, great skins, wonderful, killing it. But in terms of tanking, from a tanking perspective, she is not above D tier. She is a D tier tank next to the Thing, precisely because she can be bullied. If you can bully a tank without being another tank, you faulted to D tier. And that's why the Thing is down there next to her, because they can be bullied by all 3 roles. A tank can bully Emma Frost, a DPS can bully her, and even a healer can bully her. And that's a problem. Because of that reason, she has to go in D tier. If you use Emma Frost by herself and go through the ranking system, you might get somewhere if people play around you. That being said for every tank. If your team plays around you, every tank is great. But if they're not playing around you and they're healing themselves and healing DPS, and you're Emma Frost can't make space. That's the truth. She can't make space. She can put her shield up, but you can walk right past it. It's not attached to her. It's not a shield she can move either. It's not a mobile shield, which means if you put a shield up for Punisher coming through a door, but above you is Spider-Man, but Winter Soldier next to you coming up from the left side. So you have her shield is fixed on Punisher, but now you have a Bucky or a Winter Soldier on the other side. She can't move her shield. She's just taking headshots. Due to all that, an honest ranking for her coming from a tank for the last 10 years and plays MarvelRivals actively, Emma Frost is D. She looks amazing. Can't go wrong. But she is a D tier tank. See you guys in the next one.